nobody. We're going live. I think I'm going live. I hit the button anyway. It says I'm live. I went live a little earlier than I meant to. Let's pull up chat. Chat. See who's floating around. Oh, Lord. Let's see here. What is everybody talking about? Let's see. There's no. We'll see. There's a lot going on today. It's CES 2021, and unlike previous ones where we were on site in Vegas to do this in a bit, delayed fashion, we figured let's just live stream it. Why not? It's going to go up. We're going to give everybody that follows us a place to kind of jump into one space, and you can kind of hang out here, chat. It's unfiltered. Let it go. And we're going to watch what AMD and NVIDIA both have to bring to the table this year at CES. What I'd like to see them bring to the table is inventory. Just of anything that they've already launched. I'm not even quite interested in seeing new products launched today. I would like to have somebody walk out on stage and go, all right, guys, inventory has not been where we wanted it to be, but we bought 10 different fabs and they're all going nonstop and we can get stuff on the shelves so that people can buy it. I really do hate the inventory situation. It sucks for everybody. If the audio is good, bad, indifferent, let me know. I can adjust it. It should be where it was set for the last podcast. So hopefully we're in good shape. So welcome back. I do thank you for being here. You had a lot of choices. You could have went anywhere, but you are here and you are watching it through us. And what we got on screen here, we're going to do the usual pre-show. In Cineum, the official announcements are in 13 minutes for AMD, and then the next hour will be NVIDIA. And you'll be able to catch it all here without having to jump around. Audio is good. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate the feedback on that. And what we're going to do is our usual now. We're going to kind of go through what we expect to see. And since honestly, the expectations aren't super high for this go around, so we're going to look at what we think AMD is going to be bringing to the table and then what NVIDIA may be bringing to the table. I hope RTX Voice does its thing or NVIDIA Broadcast does its thing because they're literally building a house next door to me and it is extremely loud coming from outside. I'm even wearing the headphones trying to kind of ignore some of it myself. So I'll say hello from the UK, Jonathan. Nice. Oh, Chris, you're from the UK as well. Cool deal. I think most of us Americans are either at work or asleep right now. So one or the other. But what we're going to look at with AMD, what does AMD bring to the table? So this is the biggest thing that we expect to see is mobile parts. So we're going to see the 5000 series come to mobile, probably the Ryzen 5 5800H and the Ryzen 9. They're going to have a Ryzen 9 part. We're going to see some pretty good stuff there. This is going to be an iteration, an improvement on last generation's the Ryzen 4000 mobile parts, and then we're gonna push up to these higher performance. This is really good to see. Zen 2 did a really good job in the mobile space bringing things, and Zen 3 looks like it's going to be bringing things even more. According to the numbers that we've seen so far in the leaks, it's going to be pretty much on par with last generation desktop, which is really, really cool. So super excited there. If I sound like I'm kind of burning through some of these topics, it's because, well, I just got power back on and we wanted to go live a little earlier and really kind of dig through and talk about these things a little deeper. But we have limited time before we start with the official announcements. We're down to 12 minutes now. The other thing, graphics cards are kind of my bread and butter. It's my heart and soul of what I love about PC gaming. In fact, I just finished up doing all the testing for this. This is the Sapphire Nitro Plus 6800 XT. And before anybody freaks out, no, I don't get to keep this. It has to go back. This is just a loaner for a review. So, Dan brings up a very good point about Fidelity FX Super Resolution. Now on the screen, we got the RX 6700 XT. Now I am on the fence as to whether I think we're actually going to see this at the event or not. I honestly think we're going to see something like this, but in the lines of mobile. I think mobile is going to be a very big focus here, and it has a lot to do with the availability and the inventory and stuff. So might be able to see that going. AMD looks like they're going to go pretty hard on the mobile sector, and it would not surprise me a bit if we saw that 6700 part, so Navi 22, move over to a mobile lineup first. They'll be able to do it in a smaller volume, kind of get their foot in there with a lot of the vendors and really, really do some good there. Super Fidelity FX Super Resolution, I I don't know. That's a tough one. I would love to see it. I'm hoping that we see it. A possible 1650 XT. I doubt it, Chris. I don't think we're going to see that. That would be that would be really cool, but it's a little bit more uh, than I think we're going to get there. Let's see. Checking some things, just making sure everything's staying good. So the 6700 XT, the anticipated numbers is what 40 CUs for the XT, 192-bit bus. Here we go. There we go. There's some lineups. 192-bit bus, 12 gigs of VRAM. The 6700, same VRAM, a little bit cut down. Let's see. Tainted is a little bit disappointed by the 3060 Ti. Yeah, that's a very interesting point with that price bracket, that market. I think it's going to depend entirely on titles and what you want to do with it. But I think if you're sitting on last generation cards in that price range right now, you're kind of in a okay point until stock gets better. I don't know that there's much else I would do. It does have a hard, you would have a hard time if you were on something older and you wanted to spend, say, $400 on a card, knowing that MSRP should be a lot different, but you can't get something. So it's like, what do you get? Do you get last generations? Everything's marked up right now because of the used market and the mining thing. And I know there's people that's watched the channel that have blamed me for reporting on the mining stuff, but I just report it, kind of give you guys a heads up. Because sometimes if you can report on the mining boom before it happens really big, some people may have a chance to jump in and get something. But so Ryzen mobile parts and the 6700 XTs kind of that's kind of where I'm predicting we'll see a bunch of stuff from. Oh, bets on whether leather jacket happens. That's actually what we're going to get into. Nvidia seems to kind of be lining out for quite a few things to be announcing on theirs. So it looks like in their teaser, it made it very clear there's laptops are coming. Which parts we don't really know. Now, the one good thing about you guys, know that laptops are not susceptible to the same demands as desktop cards for miners, meaning if you're in the market for a total system, a laptop may not be a terrible option if you need something to also be kind of portable. Now, of course, we don't know what the performance really looks like on those. We've seen some leaks and they look good, but they always look good until we see what the specific vendors. So like, for example, some vendors will go super thin and light and put like the Max Q variant in there, which is cool for somebody who needs super thin and light. But then you've got people that want full performance, and you could get the bigger, thicker laptops with the big beefy heat sinks and get much better cooling. Now, I'm going to pick it, Hassan here, while we're live here. If you look, he put here a GeForce RTX 30 series desktop CPU announcement. I don't think Nvidia is going to be announcing a desktop CPU, especially an RTX 30 series CPU. That would be kind of wild. But the GTX 3060 12 gig has leaked quite a bit. We've seen boxes, we've seen some numbers, and it would not surprise me if we see an RTX 3060 announcement. Now, 2 years ago, we got the 2060 announcement at CES. It was kind of the big headliner, but it was also when DLSS was really expanding. So we've seen some big stuff there. Now, this is a very big possibility. The resizable bar support coming for NVIDIA. They said they did have it working on AMD, and they did have it working on Intel, not just AMD. So they had it working across both rather than in Intel. Smart Access Memory is working on the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs. Now, I just want to touch on this. AMD is very adamant that Smart Access Memory is more than just resizable bar. There's some work on their end, and if you look at a lot of the numbers and let's see, Hardware Unboxed did a really big look where they found there was times some regression. So I think what you're probably going to see from NVIDIA, what they're going to do is they're going to give you the tip to enable resizable bar in the BIOS, and then it's going to be a driver level thing where the driver says enable it, allow it for this game, or do not allow it in this game, because what they don't want it, what I can see NVIDIA wanting to do is to reduce the negative impact. So like if there's a game that's a known negative impact, they'll just disable it so that it doesn't function. And if there's a positive benefit, then it will enable it. So the other thing going on is with RTX is RTX and DLSS titles. They're gonna spend some time talking about upcoming games. The one mentioned in this article is the Outsiders. So from People Can Fly, that's the developer there, and it's going to use, it's being showcased. Therefore, we're likely to see NVIDIA DLSS and ray tracing features. Now, I know that there were rumors in the past from other places talking about like a universal DLSS. We've seen huge strides with DLSS 2.0. It wouldn't surprise me if they make it much more available, almost if there was a generic in game, like a generic global implementation that's not nearly as good as if it's enhanced. So that would be really neat to see. And I really, really want to see that Fidelity FX super resolution. We need both of these technologies because you guys followed the channel. You know that I think ray tracing is really cool, and the more they do it, the better it gets. So just a simple single effect isn't really transformative in the way that the total package is. Like the medium will be getting reflections, shadows, and ambient occlusion, which in a game like that is a bit slower paced. So the performance impact is not as big of a deal. And I'm the kind of guy that I can let the frame rates drop. I don't want to go under 60. Let me make that very clear. I game at 3440 by 1440. I want 60 FPS or better. My panel does 144 hertz. Closer I can get, the better. But I like to turn the features on. I was the kind of guy that knowing ultra from high didn't really do a whole lot for my graphics. And I still did it anyway. So as long as I'm maintaining 60 FPS, now I'll turn it off if I have to. But we're just a couple minutes away. I want to give you a preview in the chat section down there. Let me know if you want me to interject throughout the press briefings to make some comments whenever the time arises. Normally, I would just do it in the chat window, but some people asked why I didn't, interject throughout. I'm not going to talk over anybody. Just maybe mention, "Hey, cool, there we go. That I didn't expect that. Hey, that's right where we thought it was." Let me know down in the chat section. That'd be really cool. But once the stream starts here in a few minutes, I will turn the chat window off on screen so that you'll have to follow it on the chat window. So those that are watching back will be able to see a fresh, clean image. Interject. All right, I'll interject, but I am going to turn the camera off and I am going to turn the chat window off on the stream so that everybody can focus on the events. So we've got AMD. I got AMD pulled up, ready to go. Let's see. Premieres in 60 seconds. So once this kicks off, we're gonna go live screen, and I am gonna go back. All right, Chris, that's cool. Everybody asked for interjections. Like I said, I'm gonna let them get through the big things, and I'll mute my mic. That way, if I break wind, you guys don't have to hear it because I can't trust the NVIDIA broadcast to filter out everything. I've got my water here, and I can take. I might run a. Let's pretend we still have free speech. Isn't that the truth? All right. Last few seconds, guys. Let us know your your big predictions down in the comment section. Lisa Sue will be taking stage in bright and blue. It's quite interesting. Hey, real quick before we get started with the actual live stream, since it says that will now begin shortly, do you think this is actually live or is it a recording? My money's on it's a recording. Live would be really cool. I mean, this is CES. Everything usually was done live. I know they've rehearsed. We know that they've rehearsed, but it would be really cool if let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and turn. I think I broke it. I always hate this. We'll begin shortly because we're all sitting here on edge. Andre, thanks for the 12 gig 6700 XT mobile GPU. I hope so. I'm telling you guys, see this year CES is going to be all about the mobile, all about laptop sections. 3080 Ti, I do not think we'll see it. I don't think we're going to be seeing a 3080 Ti. If we see a desktop card today from Nvidia, my money's on the 3060. If they do a 3080 Ti, I will come on here and I will be like, hey, I was wrong. There it is. there we have it. Yeah. Oh. No reason to hide that. Wow, this is may just be my Yeah, it's going to be a few seconds delay here. Sorry about that. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. It's going from them to me to you. The 4800U laptop CPUs were really good, and the 5800 and 5900 parts are going to be even better. So, Chris, you may have to give them your bank account. Screams loud, listen to my voice. I'm going to turn it down just a bit. I thought it seemed awful loud. Almost like if they have it pre-recorded, why not just let it go? Why do the countdown? I'm trying to adjust that there, Skill. I don't want to take it down too much. 34 seconds. All right, guys, I'm gonna go dark on my camera and my mic. I'll catch you guys if I can find the right button. Betting on RTX 4060, 3060 done. Not the good 4060s. I haven't had the vid beat Wolf, but I haven't felt well in the past few days. So let's go.
Welcome to CES. I'm thrilled to introduce today's keynote speaker, AMD President and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Lisa Su. She's also was just recognized as Fortune's #2 most powerful business person of the year. She is known for making big bets, leading disciplined execution against ambitious roadmaps, forging meaningful partnerships, and accelerating the growth and trajectory of AMD. Lisa Su has made a name for herself as an industry leader who is pursuing cutting-edge technologies that change the world. AMD products and technologies are helping to redefine the technology industry. We already see that through its work with PCs, where AMD technology has helped people to reimagine the future of education, entertainment, gaming, and work as it continues to push the envelope on performance. And in the cloud, where AMD technology powers some of the most important services from video conferencing to video streaming. It's hard to tour the all-digital CES and not see something that AMD is a part of. From powerful desktops used by content creators to notebooks and Chromebooks that have assisted in the virtual schooling of children everywhere, to your favorite new game consoles, AMD touches so many facets of life-changing technology. Dr. Su is an engineer, technologist, and problem solver at heart who has always been driven to find meaningful solutions to challenges and successfully advancing leading-edge semiconductor and high-performance computing technologies throughout her career. Prior to joining AMD, Dr. Su held technology and business leadership positions at IBM and Freescale Semiconductor, now NXP. I'm excited to welcome Dr. Lisa Su to CES.
Technology changes the world, but not on its own. Hardware needs heart. Software needs soul. When processing power meets brain power, tomorrow comes alive. 1,000 ideas spark inside one mind. The world shrinks. horizons expand. The speed of progress leaves us breathless. With high-performance computing to lift us, we see more possibilities, new opportunities. We see where the future starts.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you to Gary and to all of you for joining us today at CES 2021. It's an honor to keynote CES for the second time. I know for most of us, we start every January together, so doing a virtual keynote is certainly different. At CES last year, none of us could have imagined all the things that would happen in 2020 as we navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. I know it was a challenging year for everyone, but it was also a year where we experienced firsthand the increasingly important role technology plays in every aspect of our lives. For all of us in the tech industry, although we've had our set of challenges, 2020 was perhaps one of our most productive years. From how we work, to how our kids learned, to our entertainment, to accelerating the pace of our digital transformation, high-performance computing has never been more important in our daily lives or to our future. The world needed us to turbocharge our technology capabilities, and our industry delivered wonderfully in so many different ways. At AMD, our focus has always been to push the envelope on high-performance computing across the cloud, infrastructure, and personal computing. And in 2020, we broadened our focus to ensure we were working with our partners to drive innovation, provide more capability, and meet the new requirements of a digital-first world. I'm most proud of the work we have done with technology applied to solve some of the world's most challenging research problems. A great example of this is the work in the scientific community. Scientists and researchers really pivoted on a dime to pool their resources to rally around research on vaccines, therapeutics, and other important learnings to combat and understand the pandemic. And to help them do this, the AMD COVID-19 HPC Fund donated over 12 petaflops of supercomputing last year to many of the world's leading universities and labs conducting infectious disease research. Let's hear from some of the researchers on their work.
When the pandemic came along, there was a remarkable moment. Almost overnight, it seemed, the researchers that had been working on various other applications changed their research quickly to address COVID more directly.
I've never seen such a universal desire to reach out across disciplines to form these interdisciplinary collaborations to try to do what we can to understand this virus, to understand the COVID-19 disease, and to help overcome the pandemic.
I'm the director of the Quran Institute of Mathematical Sciences.
I'm an associate professor of molecular biosciences.
We run the big computers. We do high-performance computing.
I am a professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics.
There's never enough computing available. There's always a huge demand.
That is where the AMD donation really comes into play. It's going to allow us to take all of this big data and make sense of it.
The hardware will enable scientific breakthroughs because it has been designed specifically to be an AI-capable machine.
The fact that this new platform that's being provided to us by AMD can do this quadrillion calculations per second, really allows us to build more sophisticated models.
High-performance computing that can process massive amounts of data and then couple it to simulations to make predictions. It could be just a game changer.
We're going to have the capability of feeding all of these parameters, the molecular parameters, cellular parameters, clinical parameters from patients into machine learning algorithms.
We're now not limited anymore by how quickly those machine learning algorithms can run because of how powerful these new GPU clusters are. Jobs that used to take weeks on a supercomputer to run can happen in a matter of hours.
When you're dealing with a pandemic, time is important, and getting solutions and ideas and possible, therapeutics and drugs as soon as you can is of paramount importance.
We have many people across 55 departments, or more than 55 departments, in fact, that are doing COVID-related research.
The researchers made these rapid changes in their work, and I think that speaks to the generality of the machine learning methods, but also to the power of the computing. And then AMD came along with this remarkable gift of tremendous additional computing power at just the right time to help us accelerate the research results that leads to real answers.
The industry ability to partner with universities is a real boon to scientific development.
It's a really exciting time to be doing science, where the computer is really a part of the experiment, can take us to places we never expected we'd be able to go.
People feel like they're a partner, they're part of something important. They all, drop what they have to do and they go work on this thing. We're all in it together, and that is just something really, really nice to see.
Those researchers truly are inspiring. And you know that what they're learning will not only help in this pandemic, but will actually position us much, much better for the future. Now, when the pandemic hit, our lives actually changed, practically overnight, as we went to working, schooling, and sheltering at home. In many businesses, digital transformations that typically would have taken years to complete were adopted in a matter of weeks or months. And while these shifts were challenging on a personal level, the differences were dramatic on the planet. Just take a look at some of the satellite data. This shows the level of harmful emissions in the skies over Europe. Fewer people on the roads meant significantly reduced emissions, improved air quality, and visibly less smog. At the same time, we transitioned to the new normal of working and schooling from home. We've all needed to adapt to new ways of communicating and collaborating, which has placed significantly higher demands on our digital infrastructure and made devices like the PC even more essential. So if you take a look at some of the user stats, Zoom users are now approaching 3.5 trillion minutes of meetings per year. Cisco WebEx meeting participants recently hit 600 million per month. And Microsoft Teams is now supporting 115 million daily active users. All of these examples make it clear how over the last year, our relationship with technology has fundamentally changed. The pandemic has elevated technology to become an essential part of how we live, work, play, and communicate. And at the center of all this technology is high-performance computing. That's why I'm very excited today to be joined by leaders from several of the industry's most important companies to share their perspective on the technology trends and products that will define 2021. Together, we'll show you how advances in high-performance computing will once again reset expectations for what's possible across PCs, gaming, and the data center. So with that as an introduction, let's get started with one of our biggest partners and a company that plays a significant role across each of these markets. To talk more about our work together, please welcome Microsoft Chief Product Officer, Panos Panay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Panos, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining me today.
You bet.
Boy, I think I've connected with you quite a bit over the past few months on Microsoft Teams, so I feel like I see you in the screen all the time.
We've definitely learned to work together this way, for sure.
So look, it's been an incredible time in the world, and certainly for tech. Microsoft is at the center of that and really empowering people. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's been like for you and the team at Microsoft these last 10 months?
Like many people at Microsoft, they're learning to work differently. And, I feel that certainly. Yesterday I was in a meeting with Satya. My dogs were barking in the background, the garage door opened, and, you're kind of working through it. I think like everybody, we're still adapting, still learning. It takes time. How we connect with each other is changing right now, Lisa, in a huge way. How we work is changing, how we learn is changing. So school, work, even how we're gaming, which is so important to what we do together, and then ultimately we're seeing that, at Microsoft, that PC, it's becoming more essential than it's ever been before, but not only as a productivity tool, but as a tool to connect with other humans and people in general, whether it's at school or work. And you see that, you just said it, as we work together, it's super powerful because we can continue to move forward, continue to push the boundaries. And I think between our companies, it's our responsibility to help tech disappear into the background and help people do that connection. Our customers need that right now more than ever. And so we can talk about how folks are kind of working at Microsoft, but then you can see this intensity of usage of our products together, That's really coming to life. How we support that day in and day out matters, but how we look to the future also. And to your point, whether it's the intensity on Teams or Windows or Azure on the back end supporting so much, or just the delight of being able to game on a PC or an Xbox right now, that you have a whole team at Microsoft, a whole company, if you will, kind of rallying around how to help people stay connected, work, play, and learn, and ultimately being able to partner with AMD has been phenomenal for us.
Well, look, I think, Panos, actually, I think we see it exactly the same way. It's such a special time where we can really use technology to help people do all the things that they need to do. And frankly, it is how we stay connected. So, I'm so proud of the work that we've done together. It's, our partnership is just incredibly broad and, spans all the way from
Sounds like they're trying to do a
data
NVIDIA
center
broadcast
to,
competitor.
console
Real
gaming,
slyly
and then, to
working that in.
Windows and Surface. It's just been, so great to partner with your team. So can you talk a little bit about some of the co-engineering and what we're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'd love to. First, let me just say, AMD's momentum right now is incredible. The impact you're having on the world, the work you've done. Let me just say that, and truly from the most humblest place. We've been working together, Lisa, for a long time, you and I. But before I get into any of that, we should start right now. When you talk partnerships, we got to start with gaming, don't we? Working on the Xbox Series X and Series S. This work doesn't happen in a silo. This is two teams getting together, getting right down to the depth of what it means to deliver an incredible gaming experience. Now we have this the most performant console on the planet, and that's the work we do together. I think some people just think sometimes I hear it just happens. No, these are two teams coming together, working in detail. Then take it to the next level, the work you're doing with Azure, the detailed work with AMD and Azure coming together with Epic, delivering for Game Pass and xCloud. These are real depth partnerships. And here's my favorite thing, and the way we work together, and for those of you who don't know, you can take that architecture and that thinking that drives the Xbox, the RDNA architecture, if you will, RDNA 2, I think, and you just move that into what is the PC. And that's what just, now I get super excited, of course, because you know how much I love Windows, how much I love working on these products. Leading into your Radeon product, which has been so incredibly powerful for the PC right now to help gamers push forward, to help the high-performance PC compute happen. And right now, think about customers in this time. We have that intensity of usage. This is even CAD at home or gaming at home, being able to push 64-core computing with Threadripper. You're doing all that with us, but it's really the detailed work of the two teams coming together that bring that to life. But let me also share with you, we created a small video for you, Lisa. I knew what we were coming on today, and I thought, boy, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, I'd love to
new
see
video. I just got kind of cut off there.
Three, two, one.
Panos, that was fantastic. Thank you again for joining us. It was great to see you, and thanks for providing those insights for our audience.
What a blast. Lisa, thank you for having me. I really am grateful, and thank you for this partnership. I think AMD is doing amazing things right now, and your tech is moving this world forward, and we're so grateful for it.
Now let's turn our attention to PCs. In 2020, approximately 300 million notebooks, desktops, and Chromebooks were sold. That's the highest number since 2014. And we expect demand to be even higher in 2021 as the PC continues playing an even larger role in our daily lives. At AMD, we believe the PC has never been more essential. Now, last November, we introduced our first processors powered by our new Zen 3 CPU core. Zen 3 is a new architecture that brings new capabilities to PCs while delivering leadership performance
Here comes
and
the
energy
mobile Zen
efficiency.
3.
The Zen
Ryzen
3 core
9
is a phenomenal
5000
example
series.
of AMD's dedication to building the best technology. We redesigned the core to deliver our largest generation over generation performance increase since we launched the Zen family. Zen 3 increases our lead in overall performance and energy efficiency and also delivers the best single-threaded performance. As a result, the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs are the fastest processors in the world for gamers and creators. Now, we designed Zen 3 to scale from ultra-thin notebooks all the way up to supercomputers. And I'm excited to announce we're starting 2021 by launching the most powerful PC processors ever built for ultra-thin and gaming notebooks.
There you
Today,
go.
I'm proud to introduce the AMD Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors powered by our new Zen 3 core. These new chips offer both tremendous performance and long battery life. In fact, AMD is the only company with an 8-core x86 processor for ultra-thins. For many years, the notebook PC market was on an incremental pace. By combining our leadership design capabilities with 7-nanometer process technology,
Those dots
our
are when you might be
4000
able to
series
get it.
mobile processors launched last year set a new performance trajectory for notebook processors. And we continue that new performance trajectory in 2021 with our Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors. You can expect to do more, to be more productive, and to have more immersive gaming experiences with a notebook powered by our new Ryzen mobile processors. Now, with so many of us working and learning from home in 2020, the performance and capabilities of our home PC actually defined how we worked and how we learned and much of our social interaction. We saw our productivity, our ability to create, and our opportunities to connect limited by the computing power of our PC. And for many of us, we wanted more. Our new AMD Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors for ultra-thin notebooks will be a significant step forward in performance and efficiency. With up to 8 of our new Zen 3 cores, the AMD Ryzen 5000 series are the best processors in the world for thin and light notebooks. Whether you're running general office productivity applications or more CPU-intensive tasks like video rendering, photo editing, or 3D design, the Ryzen 5000 series actually sets the new bar for leadership performance. Now, the AMD Ryzen 7 5800U is our best ultra-thin notebook processor. It has 8 cores, 16 threads with a boost up to 4.4 gigahertz, and all of this while operating within a 15-watt thermal design that's required for these ultra-thin notebooks. Now, when you take a look at the benchmarks across a large range of applications, it's just very clear that the Ryzen 7 5800U just runs your software faster. It's a very special product, the fastest x86 processor in the world for thin and light notebooks. Now, the performance is really great, but in the notebook form factor, battery life is also extremely important. And this is where the energy efficiency of the Zen 3 core truly shines. We've just done a ton of optimization in this space, and with the Ryzen 5000 series, you can expect up to 17.5 hours of general use and 21 hours of video playback on a single charge. Now that's a major jump compared to our previous generation and true all-day battery life. Now, notebook customers don't just buy thin and light laptops, but millions of people actually buy notebooks to play PC games.
Yeah, gaming
AMD
laptops.
has a rich history in PC gaming and deep ties to the gaming community. Gamers actually want desktop-like performance in the notebook form factor, and that's exactly what we built. Our new HX series mobile processors raise the bar for gaming notebooks. The HX brand actually represents our commitment to build the best processors for gaming. They feature the same Zen 3 cores from our best-in-class Ryzen 5000 desktop processors that deliver leadership frame rates. They're also unlocked for overclocking and have higher thermal ratings for sustained performance, which is key for gaming. Now let me introduce you to our top-of-the-line Ryzen 9 HX processors. The 5900HX boosts up to 4.6 gigahertz, while the 5980HX boosts up to 4.8 gigahertz, both with 8 cores and thermal design power of 45 watts or higher. So now let's take a look at the Ryzen 5900HX in action. What you're looking at here is a very graphics-intensive game, Horizon Zero Dawn, running on our new Ryzen 5900HX processor. We're running this game at 1080p with a high detail preset to really stress the CPU. And as you can see, our new mobile HX processors are delivering smooth frame rates of over 100 frames per second.
But why
And for all of
graphics?
you looking for a mobile 4K experience,
What
I'm
GPU?
happy to report that gaming notebooks featuring our new HX processors are also capable of delivering smooth gaming experiences when running at 4K at high settings. Now turning to some benchmarks versus the competition, whether you're talking about single-threaded performance or overall CPU performance, the HX series wins
Man, they really
by a
skirted
wide
the
margin.
GPU, didn't they?
This is why the best gaming notebooks of 2021 will be powered by AMD Ryzen Mobile HX processors. To bring the Ryzen 5000 mobile processors to market, we're really pleased with the strong partnership with the industry's leading PC OEMs. This year, we expect the number of notebook designs powered by our new generation of Ryzen mobile processors to grow by 50% compared to the Ryzen 4000 series. We expect more than 150 ultra-thin gaming and professional notebooks powered by Ryzen 5000 series to launch this year. This means even more choice for consumers. And you won't have to wait long to get your hands on these new systems, with the first
next
notebooks
month.
expected to be on sale from the world's top notebook providers in February. We
Sold
couldn't
out
be
through
more
June.
excited about what the Ryzen 5000 will do for you in 2021. To drive innovation in the PC market, you need great partners. Our next guest leads one of the world's largest PC companies. Let's welcome HP CEO and a great friend, Enrique Lores. Hi, Enrique. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's great to see you to start the new year together.
Lisa, it's great to see you as well, and congratulations for keynoting this year in AMD, and also for all the success of AMD.
Well, look, we are so honored to be partnered with HP. HP has really been at the center of Silicon Valley innovation. And during the past year, you and I have talked a lot about, really the charge that you're leading in helping consumers and businesses use technology to transform the way we live, work, and learn. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the trends that you've seen accelerating over the past year?
Sure. I think one of the most important things we have seen during the last months is that PCs have become essential. With people working from home, kids learning from home, playing from home, families entertaining from home, the PC have become really the center of all these processes. And this is driving a new source of innovation, enabling people to do things from their homes, connecting to their offices, really becoming much more efficient. And this is what we all have been working together. And I think we also have learned that it's not only about developing technology, it's about developing technology that everybody can access, because I think we have an obligation as well to make sure that technology doesn't help to divide our current societies. So this is something that we are working together on that I think is very important as well.
No, I think you're absolutely right, Enrique. It's such an opportunity for us to offer technology to help people in all walks of life. So look, I think the AMD-HP partnership has spanned a really broad reach from commercial PCs to ultra-thin consumer notebooks to gaming and creator PCs. So we just showed everyone the new AMD Ryzen 5000 mobile processors, and we truly appreciate the deep partnership with HP. Can you tell us about some of the designs that you're planning this year?
Yes, and before that, it's probably useful to recap a bit. I still remember the first meeting you and I had when none of us were the CEOs of our companies, where we were thinking and designing the first commercial PCs with AMD. And we have really gone a long way since these very early conversations 6-7 years ago. And I think with the launches this year, we have really shown how much progress we have made. And whether we look at the versatility of the new designs, the security that we have built into the solutions, and the new form factors and the premium designs that we are bringing, clearly we are making a difference, and we are showing what the combination of both companies can bring to the market.
No, you're so right, Enrique. What I really appreciate is that every year the technology gets better, the partnership gets better, and I think our what we can offer our customers gets better. So look, it's an incredible time for innovation in the PC market and across tech more broadly. Enrique, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really, really thankful for our partnership and look forward to all the great new devices that we'll have out in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Now let's turn our attention to gaming. Gaming has continued to grow in recent years, and 2020 was another record year. 4 in 5 US consumers have played a video game in the past 6 months.
That's because we're stuck inside.
And at $174 billion in annual revenue, the gaming industry is actually larger than the movie and music industries combined. We're now
Good.
approaching
It's
3
about
billion
time.
people playing games. That's 40% of the world's population. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Gamers push us to innovate faster because they always want more. More frames, more pixels, and more immersive experiences, which is exactly what we delivered with our new CPUs and GPUs and the new generation of game consoles powered by AMD. The hottest products in the world today are the new game consoles from Microsoft and Sony.
I heard they were
Kronos
pretty hot.
mentioned our
A
work
lot of
with
heat coming out of
Microsoft
this
to build
Series X.
high-performance CPUs and GPUs for the Xbox Series X and Series S. We're also incredibly proud of our deep partnership with Sony to power the new PlayStation 5. All these next-generation consoles use custom AMD SoCs with Ryzen and Radeon technology. Console gaming has never looked better, and AMD is providing the underlying technology pushing 4K gaming across these platforms. Now, for PC gamers, we introduced high-end graphics cards to the desktop
yes.
PC market at the end of 2020 with the Radeon RX 6000 series. With the Radeon 6900 XT, 6800 XT, and 6800, we have leadership at the high end. The reviews and awards for these products have been fantastic, and we know that millions of gamers are excited about the RX 6000 series. Whether you're building your own gaming rig or buying a new gaming PC, we truly have the best for PC gamers. We're working with our partners to drive a record number of premium desktop gaming systems from OEMs and from system builders, featuring our new Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards and our Ryzen 5000 series desktop CPUs. Now, the underlying graphics architecture for all these new PC and console products is AMD RDNA 2. With RDNA 2, we really exceeded our goals. We doubled the performance from the first generation of RDNA in 2019, and we
Every
achieved a
gamer.
65% performance per watt increase while
We need more of
supporting the
these
full
cards.
DX12 Ultimate experience for gamers. The team did a great job with this architecture, and you'll see many more products in 2021 with RDNA 2. We talked about the
Oh,
importance
there's your
of gaming
announcement.
notebooks
More-
a bit
more
earlier,
products.
and we'll be bringing RDNA 2 to gaming notebooks next. So let me
Oh,
show you a preview
there
of
you
the
go, guys.
RDNA 2 graphics architecture in a notebook reference design. What you're looking at here is Dirt 5, another demanding game running at ultra-high settings in 1440p. And what you see is more than 60 frames per second. Just beautiful, smooth gameplay. We're on track to launch the first notebooks with RDNA 2 in the first half of the year with our partners. And you'll also see new mainstream RDNA 2 desktop graphic card designs in the first half of the year as well.
Hey, look,
We're
is
very
that a
excited to have
6700
RDNA 2
and a
across the entire spectrum
66
from consoles to
6500?
desktops to notebooks soon. Now, while console and PC gaming are the most fun for some people, for others, it's gorgeous content and Hollywood films. Today, high-performance computing makes it faster and less expensive to produce
Hey,
amazing
Dirt 5
movies
is really
and
fun,
TV shows.
guys.
My next guest has overseen some of the most beloved stories and characters ever, with visual effects and computer animation powered by AMD. Francois Chardevon is the head of technology for Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic.
Hi, really happy to be here, Lisa.
Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. So ILM, Lucasfilm, and AMD have worked together now for more than a decade, yet 2020 is probably one of the most memorable of the years that we've worked together. The demand for content is through the roof. Can you tell us a little bit about how 2020 has changed the way you work?
Absolutely, you're right. Lucasfilm just recently announced 10 new series and feature films, and a lot of studios are doing the same thing. The content creation is through the roof across all of the major content creators. And for ILM in particular, despite all the disruption for 2020, it's been an incredibly busy year. And we're looking out to 2021, and it's going to be even bigger. We built an entirely new studio from scratch in Sydney, Australia, to add to our 4 other studios. We opened a few months before the pandemic really hit, and it was an opportunity for rethinking from the ground up all of our infrastructure to make sure that we're making the best choices possible. One of the most important parts of our infrastructure for what we do is the render farm, really the compute firepower that creates all of the images that you see on screen. And for Sydney, we decided to go exclusively with AMD to build our facility up. And that was something that really empowered that studio to hit the ground running despite all the disruption of 2020.
Wow, Francois, that's just fascinating. I mean, just to think of all of the things that you guys have to think about when you're, producing, the best content in the world. So, you guys were really an early adopter of AMD EPYC and Threadripper. Can you tell us a little bit about how the tech works for you?
Absolutely. I mean, I think for us, it's really about scale and flexibility. Scale just to produce the sheer amount of content across all of our studios where we just need as much firepower as possible. And AMD is really focused on building out the amount of power that you can put in any individual's hands. The amount of threads and cores that you have available is unprecedented. And this really helps us deliver the content that we have. That scale comes into play a whole lot more than it ever has, even for interactive processes, not just the overnight processes, where more and more we're just seeing software take advantage of that sheer amount of threads that are available with AMD processors in a way that software never has before. And so artists are able to make changes and immediately see the results. That gives you more of an intuitive sense of how when you turn the knob, it really affects what you see on screen. That really changes how you approach the creative process.
You know, Francois, you sound like you love cores and threads just as much as I do. So we
Threadripper.
we love
Threadripper.
that. But you're really pushing the envelope on what technology can do, and it sounds like there are actually things that you can do in your creative pipeline or workflow that you weren't able to do before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
As artists more and more are having to tackle really high resolution content, high dynamic range, more bit depth, it's just a lot of data to process. And a lot of the codecs, the compression algorithms for the content, AMD is making that a whole lot more commoditized than it ever has in the past.
That's fantastic. Really, really exciting stuff. I know we're all looking forward to seeing it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us, some of your insights on how, high performance computing really does enable all of the wonderful work that you do at ILM and Lucasfilm. We're really proud to be your partner and really look forward to doing much, much more together in the future.
Thank you so much, Lisa. This has been great, and AMD has been an amazing partner through all this.
Let's take a look at some of the great work by Lucasfilm and ILM using high performance computing.
Oh, the new Star Trek movie looks kind of wild.
To share more about our work in the PC, workstation, and server markets, let's welcome our great friend, Lenovo Chairman and CEO, Yang Yuanqing. YY, it's great to see you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me here.
I've heard you say Lenovo is focused on building smarter technology for all, data center, PCs, mobile phones, and smart devices. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Lenovo team experienced in 2020 when it comes to the world's transition to digital first?
Why some people predicted a smartphone would replace PC and tablets before. The work and study from home trend have proven PC to be an essential productivity tool now. Although this trend was studied by the pandemic, it has now become a new lifestyle. So even after the pandemic, we believe this new lifestyle will stay. And Lenovo is committed to meet our customers' requirements.
We enjoy such a great partnership that spans from data center to workstation to all forms of PC. Lenovo has some of the best solutions with AMD products, whether it's our Ryzen 5000 or our Threadripper workstation products or our AMD EPYC product line. How do you view our expanding partnership and what we're able to bring to customers in these markets?
We are happy to address different customer needs with a broad portfolio of technologies and solutions we create with AMD. Our Legion gaming system are well recognized by esports enthusiasts. Our Yoga products are the perfect blend of style and performance. Our ThinkPad and ThinkBook allows professionals take their productivity home or anywhere. And our workstation
Hey, just a reminder, everybody's 20 minutes till the video show starts.
Contents and inspire the world.
That's just really fantastic, YY. You know, we're starting a new year together during our digital CES, and I know you often use CES to kick off your most important announcements for the year. So can you tell us about some of the things that you're excited about for 2021?
As part of our smarter technology for all vision, we believe there should also be connectivity for all. We have embedded the 5G technology across a number of our products to make sure they can be always on and always connected. But 2020 taught us that what our customers need in the new normal is a breakthrough in a few existing technologies that have become absolutely essential today. We are leveraging advanced technology like artificial intelligence and the latest hardware innovations to drive breakthrough in this space. As a customer-centric company, Lenovo is definitely focused on innovations that makes the biggest impact on customers' lives today and in the future.
That sounds super exciting, YY. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm really looking forward to all the great new AMD-powered products Lenovo has in the works. We've talked about the impact of high-performance computing in our research, in our work, in education, gaming, and the movies. But high-performance computing is also changing the world of professional sports. AMD is very proud to be an official partner to the 7-time champion Mercedes-AMG Formula One racing team. Now let's talk to our superstar driver Lewis Hamilton and team CEO Toto Wolff to find out how the world of high-performance computing
needs that
and
Adobe
auto
guy
racing and esports
from the
are
Intel
coming
press
together.
conference.
Lewis, how are you? It's so great to see you after such a busy year.
I'm well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, look, first, congratulations on your record-tying 7th Formula One Drivers' Championship. Just simply amazing. Toto, thanks for joining us, and congratulations to you as well for winning your 7th Constructors' Championship as a team.
Thank you for having me. I'm pleased to join you. And yeah, it was another good season. We won a 7th Constructor Championship. It was a difficult year with COVID-19, but finally on track, we were successful.
Oh, it's fantastic. I know it was.
Guys, I'm hoping for
such a
one more
grueling
thing
year, but
before
you
this
guys
is
are just
over.
Amazing. And hey, one of the things I know about you is that you love gaming, and AMD loves gaming too. In fact, I heard you might be having some fun in your downtime with your new AMD-powered Sony PlayStation 5.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've actually always been. My dad was actually. He was always into computers, and when I was younger, when we started racing, he worked on computers for the British Rail, and then he got into his own IT and network support company. So I remember being at home growing up, and my dad taking apart these the PCs, and I remember getting involved and
I want to be a
learning
walking billboard
to build computers for him when I started working with him when I was 17. I was always into gaming, and watching the technology advance over the years has been absolutely mind-blowing. And yes, of course, I've been nagging everyone for the PS5 like everyone is, and I finally got it, and I actually carry it around with me. I travel with it everywhere I go, and I have a real gaming monitor, the whole headphones. I'm fully geared up.
I'm just imagining you getting into the zone with your PS5, so that's wonderful. Look, one of the reasons AMD is an official partner to your team is that Formula One is such a great application of high-performance computing technology. Can you just tell me a little bit about your view of the role of technology in racing and how the team depends on partners like our computing technology?
Well, it's incredible when people look at the image next to you of the Formula One car. Everything is built in-house. Pretty much everything is built in-house. Give or take the tires and maybe brakes, but majority of the stuff is designed in-house and built in-house and designed on CAD machines. The technology in terms of the software they use for aero data analysis. We have a real wind tunnel, and then we have a virtual wind tunnel. And the crazy amount of computing power that takes place for that is insane to see, and it's advancing all the time. And from each weekend, there's a huge amount of download. I think it's over 500 gigabytes of downloaded data, which gets transferred back to the UK to headquarters, is digested. We're running a huge amount of simulations through the weekends in terms of getting the right setup, strategy. From a driver's point of view, to get ahead, you need to understand the data. That's understanding the
so you
all
Dirt
the
5 is
controls. I have
sounding
over
like a
20
good thing to do
buttons
right
on
now.
my steering wheel that have a direct link to how the car behaves. So I'm studying that in the background.
Yeah, I really like
on
Dirt 5. It's
computers,
actually a lot.
all the
It's
time.
pretty
And
entertaining.
also, when we come back into the garage, the car downloads and the data pops up on my screen, and I'm having to push that technology to be faster. The faster we can get that, the faster I can analyze it, and the faster I can get back out there and improve. So it's a huge part and huge asset for us, and I'm super grateful that we have AMD with us.
Oh, it'll be fantastic to watch. We're looking forward to it. So our work with you and the team goes much deeper than seeing the AMD brand on the beautiful W11 car. From the computing needed to design the setup and set up the cars to the notebooks and desktops that the team uses on track and everywhere in between. Can you talk a little bit about how you're using our technology as a team?
Yes, so it goes much beyond the sticker on the car, like we call it. The marketing and branding benefit is just the icing on the cake. What is really beneficial in our relationship is there's only a few of these partnerships that we have, is the technical collaboration and the advantage that you provide to us. And it's not only hardware like the desktops or the notebooks, it's really ingrained, or it's making its way into our performance departments, be it in the vehicle dynamic group or in aerodynamics into the simulation.
This reminds me of the AI talk that we used to get from NVIDIA on the smart cars all the time.
Products, and that should give us an advantage against our direct competitors.
Well, we love to be part of that advantage. And now, Toto, you're responsible for not just the Formula One team, but the Formula E team, as well as the esports team. And I know many of our viewers here are very interested in esports. So
I did enjoy hearing him
talk a little bit
talk.
about how you're using technology there?
We have been growing our department around esports from something that was a little bit trial and error a few years ago to a real professional team. And we see the audiences growing massively, and it has become an area of performance, like with the real car. So it's all about simulation, it's about development and the setup of the car. And there, again, without wanting to disclose our competitive advantage, you have been part of our success, and we count on you.
That's super, super cool. Louis and Toto, thank you so much. It's been such an honor to have you join us today. And best of luck in the new season. I'm really looking forward to our partnership continuing and seeing what happens as we go through the year.
Yes, we are really happy and proud to have you on board. And you help us with the competitive edge. And yes, thank you very much for having me.
Now let's turn our attention to one of the most important areas of high-performance computing, the data center, cloud, and supercomputing.
Oh, I
During
really
our
thought they were going to say
2019
graphics cards
CES
again.
keynote, we demonstrated the world's first 64-core x86 server processor. Since then, AMD EPYC processors have been adopted by the largest cloud service providers, the fastest supercomputers, and in the heart of the enterprise. In addition to the researchers we heard from earlier using AMD technologies for medical research, our EPYC processors are also
I'm going to be
being used
surprised
for
if we don't
research
see
in
a
areas
Threadripper
like weather
chip.
forecasting, climate change, and energy exploration. From AWS to Google to Microsoft, Tencent Cloud, and Oracle, the largest cloud providers have adopted EPYC processors to power their internal infrastructure and services. And that incredible growth in video collaboration I highlighted earlier, those too are powered by AMD EPYC, including services like Microsoft Teams running on Azure.
You
And
can have
while each of
EPYC
these
at home.
customers has unique needs and requirements, they all share one thing in common. They will take as much computing power as they can get, and they all want more. That's why we're so excited about our upcoming 3rd Gen EPYC processors. 3rd Gen EPYC will reset the bar for data center computing. With up to 64 leadership
it's a
Zen
step
3
towards
cores,
Threadripper.
our next generation server processors extend our leadership in performance, total cost of ownership, and security. But today, we wanted to give you the world's first preview of the upcoming processors, codenamed Milan, running WRF. one of the most popular tools used for climate research and weather forecasting. WRF is used in 185 countries, and as you might expect, to simulate something as complex as a weather system, WRF is an extremely demanding application that benefits from more processing power. Let's take a look at the competitive performance of our upcoming Milan processors running a simulation. In this test, we're comparing two comparably configured servers running a compute-intensive weather forecast for the continental United States. The system on the right features two of our next-generation 32-core Milan processors, and the system on the left features two of the highest-end dual-socket processors from our competition. We're taking in a large set of climate data to produce a 6-hour weather forecast, and what you see is that the additional performance of the AMD EPYC processors completes the simulation much, much faster. The 3rd-gen EPYC server completed the forecast 68% faster than the competition.
This will be good for flight sim.
The speed to complete in this case is very important because if the simulation runs faster, it means scientists improve the accuracy of the forecast by using a larger data set.
Honestly, guys, I'm a weather buff. This is actually
simulations per
really
day.
cool.
Now, just imagine how much more performance you're going to see with two 64-core Milan processors. We're extremely excited about bringing 3rd-gen EPYC to market and can't wait to show you more when we launch later this quarter. Now, it's been
Well, at
so
least
much
it's this
fun
quarter.
today, but it's time to wrap this up. I'm
Yeah,
so
Chris,
thankful for our
2
amazing
Intel
partners
processors,
who
1
joined
AMD.
us today. Panos Panay from Microsoft, Enrique Lores from HP, Francois Chardavoine from Lucasfilm ILM, YY from Lenovo, and Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff from Mercedes-AMG Formula One. Today, we've seen the power of high-performance computing, from scientific research to education to global business to auto racing to gaming and filmmaking. I hope you're leaving with the same excitement that I have. I'm really proud to be part of this amazing industry, and when we work together across disciplines, the technology that we
One
build
more
can
thing?
make a huge impact on people's lives. AMD and our partners will continue to push the envelope on high-performance computing in 2021 and the years ahead. Thank you for joining me today, and have a fantastic digital CES experience.
Well, there you go, guys. That was it. So, looks like Mobile Zen 3. Mobile Zen 3, that happened, and Mobile RDNA 2. I guess I can say that I'm not surprised that we didn't get the 6700 series. I did expect Mobile RDNA 2. See, I made these notes before we even got started. So, talked about it before we got started there. Highly anticipated it. Expected a lot more details than that. Was the graphics card that they were running with the mobile part, that was it, guys. That was the whole stream. There was no Fidelity FX super resolution. It was, in case anybody's wondering, that David May down in the comments section, that would be my little brother. Yesterday was his birthday. He turned 25, so everybody wish him a happy birthday down in the chat if you so feel inclined. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Ah! Good Lord, that was loud. All right, so this we are. We got 6 minutes and 50 some odd seconds. We got less than 7 minutes before the NVIDIA one starts up. Now, let's take some bets. Let's go back. I'll tell you what, let's pull this back up. We're going to go ahead and close these other chat windows out so I can quit looking at those, because the AMD one is over. The AMD event is over. So again, quick recap. What do we get? Sorry about that, guys. I was actually hoping that would be a lot more exciting than it is. I didn't see Threadripper. I highly expected Threadripper, but Milan, that was really cool. And again, I am a weather buff. I really do get excited about the weather stuff, although it has nothing to do with gaming. So I can totally understand nobody here getting excited. We did get to see two graphics cards. I mean, it was clearly two different graphics cards. So one is probably the 6700 series and one's the 6500 series. I don't I have a strong suspicion that we may not even get to see a 6600 series, and if we do, it'll probably come after everything else is out. That is straight speculation. There's no reason I have to believe that other than speculation. But these N3 mobile parts look really, really strong. Good improvements over previous generations, completely destroying their competition at 15 watts. The 45 plus is quite interesting because it makes me wonder what actual 45 watt limit would be. The plus is, let me know at least goes further than that. You guys in the chat did a really good job keeping each other entertained. You cracked me up. You made me laugh quite a bit. I tried not to interject with anything that didn't actually add to the conversation. We're going to do the same thing again here with the GeForce one. We got 5 minutes to go. So we burned 2 minutes already recapping the massive look, I'm going to say some of you guys were trying to, you're giving the guys a hard time for their English clearly being their second language. I actually respect anyone who can learn more than one language. I don't know anything but English, and being from the southern hemisphere of the United States, the southern region of the United States, my English is often questionable at best. So, it is what it is. I was let down by a lot of the lack, really. You guys, if you want a smoke break, you got it. Smoke it. You got 4.5 minutes. And even then, you're probably going to get 2 minutes of warning. So, step out, take a smoke, take a pee break if you need it. Let's see. I don't know. I was a little bit overall disappointed. I really was hoping to get an update on Fidelity FX Super Resolution. No comments on availability. We spent a lot of time talking about the research going into COVID that we already knew was going on. Some of the things that YouTube is asking me to approve for the comment section really don't make sense. So you can see I'm pretty much just approving everything. So just don't go crazy with that. Except for this guy. This guy, you know what? Hang on. Put user. You're going in timeout, buddy. That's annoying. I don't mind people talking, but I was hoping they would announce the 6700 series. I was geared up for it. I was excited for it, but we probably aren't going to see that until closer to closer to E3, I guess. Maybe E3. March is what the rumors are saying for the launch. I'm sorry if I'm a little less than hype right now. It's a little let down. 3 minutes left. Let's talk about NVIDIA and what to expect. Hopefully you guys can find the time. I'm going to timestamp this once it's done because it's going to be a really long live stream, and I don't want people having to sit through a whole lot to get to what they want to see. So we're going on, and definitely laptops. We're probably going to see this build on the laptops that AMD announced, so the Ryzen 5000 series mobile parts with the new mobile NVIDIA parts. What all mobile parts, we're not really sure. Definitely says here in the article, the 3080 mobility. We'll see about that. Desktop-wise, again, Hassan, if you're watching it, buddy, fix that. NVIDIA is not announcing any CPUs. Sorry. However, I do anticipate a 3060. You know what? I'm going to write this down. So, mobile. I got a feeling they're going to go top to bottom. We're going to go 80, 70, 60. I'm writing it down here, guys. Again, writing it, piece of paper. Mobile, desktop. We're going to see 3060. That's it. I don't predict we'll see any other desktop GPU. One model, 3060. We'll find out what the VRAM buffer actually is and the price. There was a leak while we were going on the other one saying 329. We'll take that as a guess. We're going to do 6 gig, 329. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I know Arav has been wanting a 3050 Ti or 3050 Super, something. We'll see, buddy. We'll see what we get with that. We made a Fortnite and we're selling right? Fortnite is getting a Bitcoin world where you can go in and mine for Bitcoin in Fortnite. Let's see. Resizable bar. I think we're going to see resizable bar in with the mobile stuff. I think it's going to be a mobile first technology. Just That's my guess. I think they're going to announce it, and it's going to be that. But as far as gaming, we're going to get a lot of stuff on gaming. I really think this is where we're going to get some details on Outsiders. So I'm going to write down Outsiders. See, that'll be one of their guests they bring on. The other one is going to be The Medium. I know I talked about that in the pre-show, but the thing about The Medium is, let's see, 42 seconds. So The Medium was an Xbox Series X and S exclusive and Game Pass release. It's going to be on Game Pass for the Series S. I got the Series S right there, Series X, and PC on Game Pass Ultimate. Love Game Pass Ultimate. Not a plug for it. I just think it's a great thing. It's very inexpensive, gets you a lot of games. But full RTX support on the Medium. Reflections, ambient occlusion, shadows, DLSS. We've not seen any other things than that about it. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and turn me off. Turn you guys off in the chat. I'll catch you guys in the chat. I'm going to mute me. Oh, shoot. They jumped right into it.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. 2020 was an extremely tough year with no end of challenges. Millions of people tuned into gaming to play, create, and connect with one another. Steam saw the number of concurrent users increase by 40% over the previous year and more than double since 2018. Discord connected gamers with over 4 billion minutes of conversation and monthly active users reaching 140 million. That's nearly 3 times as many as 2 years ago. Together, we watched over 100 billion hours of gaming content on YouTube. That's twice as much as 2018. And with physical sports largely on the sidelines, esports has attracted legions of new fans. Viewership is nearly 500 million people globally, up 100 million from 2018, with another 150 million viewers expected over the next 3 years. More than ever, gaming has become an integral part of our lives. 2 years ago, we introduced a breakthrough in graphics, real-time ray tracing, and AI-based DLSS. We called it RTX. Together with Microsoft and top developers and game engines, we set off to bring the visual realism of movies to fully interactive gaming. The momentum is unstoppable, as consoles and the rest of the ecosystem are now on board. Ray tracing is the new standard. Last fall, hot out of Jensen's oven, we launched our second generation RTX, the GeForce RTX 30
hot out of the oven.
Ampere architecture for gamers, and our biggest generational leap ever. Ampere features dedicated RT cores to accelerate ray tracing, Tensor cores for the performance-boosting DLSS, and new streaming multiprocessors, together delivering twice the performance of our prior generation. And our ultimate play is more than just beautiful graphics. We introduced low latency NVIDIA Reflex so competitive gamers could be their best. And NVIDIA Broadcast, an AI-powered app that turns any room into a home broadcast studio. Over the past 4 months, we've launched 4 new Ampere-powered graphics cards. From the ultimate BF GPU, the GeForce
they kind of jumped
RTX
right into
3090,
this. So.
priced at $1499, to the $399 RTX 3060 Ti.
Ti.
Ampere
They
has
said
been our
Ti.
fastest selling architecture ever,
I
selling
know it's
almost
Ti.
twice
I
as
still like
much as
Ti,
our prior
but
generation.
it is what it is.
We know these products have been hard to find. I want to thank you for your patience as we continue
Oh,
to
he's
work
addressing
hard
it.
to catch up. Last CES, we brought GeForce Gaming to the cloud. GeForce Now allows gamers to play their favorite PC games with RT and DLSS on from almost any device. Windows laptops, Macs, Chromebooks, Android and iOS devices, and TVs, billions in total. GeForce Now connects you to your favorite PC game stores like Steam,
I
Epic,
actually use GeForce
Ubisoft,
Now with
and
my
GOG,
laptop, guys.
and free-to-play
No joke.
games like Fortnite, Apex, and League of Legends. In all, over 800 PC games have been onboarded from 300 publishers, including 80 free-to-play games. With 6 million registered users, supported by our 25 global data centers, we streamed 200 million hours of gameplay in 2020. We hosted exclusive demos for the annual Game Awards show and streamed Cyberpunk 2077 to GFN gamers the day of launch.
Your new life starts now.
RTX technology has set a whole new standard in gaming. From amazing indie games like Pumpkin Jack to the fastest selling PC game of all time, Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, 36 games are now powered by RTX, including the #1 Battle Royale game, the #1 RPG, the #1 MMO, and the #1 best-selling game of all time, Minecraft. And the list continues to grow. DLSS enables the great ray tracing experience in these games by delivering a big performance boost with awesome image quality. Let's take a look.
Hey, I wonder if Hub will get a shout out.
And today we are announcing more games that support RTX. Call of Duty is the most successful FPS franchise ever. Starting with COD Modern Warfare in 2019 and then Black Ops Cold War, we've worked with Activision to bring ray tracing to the series. Call of Duty Warzone, the franchise's free-to-play battle royale, has over 85 million gamers. Building on our partnership with Activision, Warzone is adopting DLSS. Coming soon, every RTX gamer will see a
this
boost
is what I
in
get for thinking it
performance
already had it.
and competitiveness. Over the years, we have worked closely with Square Enix, including the world-famous Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider series. Today, we would like to announce our latest partnership. We are bringing DLSS to Outriders, a brand new IP from Square Enix. Developed by People Can Fly, the creators of Bulletstorm, Outriders is a multiplayer co-op shooter set in an original sci-fi universe.
Welcome to Enoch. Here, if you plan on surviving, you need to rewire your brain for aggression. The scared hide, and the hesitant die. You are neither. You are the aggressor. You are the threat. You are Outriders.
Five Nights at Freddy's, the horror-themed indie hit, grew to become a massive popular franchise with over 30 million downloads and 30 billion
Oh yeah,
YouTube
you're right.
views.
The
Today we are announcing
Modern Warfare
with
only had
developer Steel Wool Studios that the latest chapter,
DLSS.
Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, will feature RTX ray
did
tracing
not see this
and
coming.
DLSS. You can expect a new level of immersion into Freddy's unique and frightening world. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is coming later this year. Here's a look at game footage our friends at Steel Wool put together for us.
My kid will be so happy.
It's getting late. Let's get you home.
This actually looks fully path traced. So, I mean, good job on that.
And put you to bed.
I see you.
They're going heavy on DLSS, really emphasizing the lack of Fidelity FX Super Resolution right now.
This next game was developed by Shanghai Tai Games, one of the top China developers emerging onto the global stage. Fist, forged in Shadow Torch, is a platformer that was inspired by classics such as Metroid and Castlevania. As an action game, Fist features multiple weapons, numerous combos, upgradable skills, and a classic arcade-style experience. NVIDIA worked closely with Shanghai Tai Games to bring the game to life with ray tracing and DLSS.
Target 41, fair, illegal possession of ordnance. Arrest.
I want to play this. Do I have to use a VPN?
Esports has become the preferred sport for tens of millions of gamers. 75% of GeForce gamers play competitive games like Fortnite, Valorant, and Apex Legends. And 99% of esports pros are competing on GeForce. So we developed NVIDIA Reflex to help gamers get their best system latency from mouse click to display. Reflex has been a big hit among developers
I need
and gamers.
something to reduce the
Since
latency
the
between my
introduction
eyes and
in
my
September,
hands.
a dozen games have added support. Today, we are excited to announce that Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch are adopting NVIDIA Reflex. Now, 7 of the top 10 competitive shooters support the technology. We also wanted to give gamers a way to accurately measure system latency. In September, we announced 4 360Hz G-Sync esports displays that feature an innovative tool, the Reflex Latency Analyzer. The Latency Analyzer
I've gotten to use
is
this.
to
It's
an
actually
esports
really
gamer
interesting.
what a heart rate monitor is to a runner, a critical tool for measuring system health and performance. With hardware built into the display, it measures full click-to-display latency. Today, we are announcing 5 new G-Sync gaming monitors from Acer, AOC, and Asus, all featuring Reflex Latency Analyzer. These panels expand the Reflex ecosystem to include 1440p resolution and 34-inch ultra-wide. The heart of the GeForce gaming platform is our family of GPUs, and the 60 class is our most popular.
Yeah, this will go.
The
New
affordable
cards.
price point is designed to bring the performance and features
Boy,
of
he
our
just
latest
rolled right into
architecture to every gamer. For example, the GTX 1060 was one of our most successful
on.
GPUs we ever built.
And that's because it was
The GTX
$299
1060
or less.
delivered a great generational leap in performance. It could power all the latest games at 1080p, 60 frames per second. But new games bring bigger worlds and cinematic graphics that demand more of the GPU.
Like 12 gigabytes.
This is evident in the latest sequels to these AAA games, where the GTX 1060 struggles to keep up. For instance, gamers were playing Watch Dogs 2 with high settings at 60 frames per second. But with Watch Dogs Legion, released last October, they only get 24 frames per second. And an even bigger change is underway. Turn on ray tracing, and these games become unplayable on the 1060.
They were already unplayable. Now they're just
With
PowerPoint
90%
edition.
of the installed base on GTX, now is the perfect time to deliver an RTX for every gamer. Let me introduce the new GeForce RTX 3060, which brings the power of Ampere, our second generation RTX architecture,
there it goes,
to every gamer. Twice the raster performance of the 1060 and 10 times the ray tracing performance. The RTX 3060 powers the latest game
329.
with
No
RTX
more than that.
on
Come
at
on.
60 frames per
299. Let's do 299. Just do 299. The Founders Edition 1060 was 299. Do it. Good. At least it's a graphics card announcement today.
The RTX 3060 is a powerful GPU.
Does it have a price
It
tag?
has 13 shader teraflops, 25 RT teraflops for ray tracing, and 101 tensor teraflops to power DLSS. It has 12 gigabytes of G6 memory.
Ooh,
and
12 gigs.
starts
There
at
we
just
go.
329.
329, 12
the RTX
gigs.
3060
I'll take it.
will be available worldwide in late February.
Late February.
Amazing gaming doesn't end at the desktop. Laptops are the fastest growing gaming platform, increasing 7 times in 7
Sold
years.
out.
There are 50 million gaming laptops, which powered over 14 billion gaming hours last year. And the power of these laptops has inspired gamers to find new ways to play. In console mode, connected to a big screen TV using a controller, or driving an ultra-wide monitor with a keyboard and mouse. These high-performance machines also meet the needs of 45 million creators and everyone working and studying from home. Today we are announcing a new generation of Ampere-powered laptops with second-generation RTX and third-generation Max-Q technologies, delivering twice the power efficiency of previous generations. Nowhere does efficiency matter more than in the extremely power-constrained environment of a modern gaming laptop. So 4 years ago, we introduced Max-Q. Max-Q is a system design approach that delivers high performance in thin and light gaming laptops. It has fundamentally changed how laptops are built. Every aspect, the CPU, GPU, software, PCB design, power delivery, thermals, are optimized for power and performance. Our third generation Max-Q technologies use AI and new system optimizations to make high performance gaming laptops faster and better than ever. Traditionally, gaming laptops set the power for the CPU and GPU. Yet games and creative apps are dynamic, and demands on the system change from frame to frame. Today we are introducing Dynamic Boost 2.0, which for the first time uses AI to shift power between the CPU, GPU, and now GPU memory, determining where it is needed most. The AI networks in Dynamic Boost 2.0 manage power on a per frame basis, so your laptop is constantly optimizing for maximum performance. The result is a larger performance boost than ever before. We are also introducing Whisper Mode 2.0, delivering a new level of acoustic control for gaming laptops. Whisper Mode has been re-engineered from the ground up and is custom built into each laptop at a system level. You pick your desired acoustics, and Whisper Mode 2.0's AI-powered algorithms manage the CPU, GPU, system temperature, and fan speeds to deliver great acoustics at the best possible performance. Next, we are introducing Resizable Bar. which leverages the advanced capabilities of PCI Express to boost gaming performance. Games use GPU memory for textures, shaders, and geometry, constantly updating as the player moves through the world. Today, only part of the GPU's memory can be accessed at any one time by the CPU, requiring many memory updates. With resizable bar, the game can access the entire GPU memory, allowing for multiple updates at the same time, improving performance. Finally, DLSS is a breakthrough for gaming laptops. It uses AI and RTX Tensor Cores to deliver up to 2x the performance in the same power. A GPU needs to calculate almost 4 million pixels for a single 1440p frame. DLSS requires only a fraction of the pixels, which improves efficiency and increases performance. It also delivers more battery life when you are gaming on the go. Max-Q has reinvented the gaming laptop. 4 years ago, the fastest laptops in the world were powered by a GTX 1080, averaged 40 millimeters thick, and weighed over 9 pounds. After 4 years of innovation, Max-Q Gen 3 laptops are half the size, half the weight, and deliver up to 10 times the performance. More gamers are choosing to play on laptops. And with 95% of the installed base below the performance of the latest consoles, it's time to introduce a new generation. The RTX 3060 laptop is faster than anything on the market today, including the $2,500 RTX 2080 Super. It's 30% faster than the PlayStation 5 and delivers 90 frames per second on the latest games at ultra settings 1080p. The RTX 3060 laptops start at just $999. Gamers know that 1440p displays with twice the pixels of 1080p provide the perfect mix of high fidelity graphics and great performance. Yet they are missing on laptops. For years, we've been working behind the scenes with display manufacturers and OEMs. Now, for the first time, 1440p displays will be widely available. Introducing the GeForce RTX 3070 laptop, a 1440p gaming beast. It's 50% faster than the RTX 2070 and delivers 90 frames per second with ultra settings at 1440p. RTX 3070 laptops start at $1299. Finally, our flagship GeForce RTX 3080 laptop. With up to 16 gigabytes of G6 memory, it is the world's fastest laptop for gamers and creators.
There's your 16
It delivers
gigs.
100 frames per second with RTX on and starts at $1999.
Think we'll get that in desktop variant?
Today, nearly 3/4 of laptop gamers play esports. The resulting popularity of high refresh rate laptops continues to grow, doubling this past year. I'm excited to announce that over half of the new 30 series laptops will offer 240 Hz or higher refresh rates. With the performance of our GeForce RTX 3080 laptop GPU, gamers will be able to play at 240 frames per second across top titles like Overwatch, Rainbow Six, Valorant, and Fortnite. And combined with NVIDIA Reflex, gamers can achieve sub 20 millisecond system latency, enabling them to play their absolute best. From videos to photography to 3D animation, the creation of digital content is exploding. NVIDIA Studio is our accelerated platform for creators, speeding up ray tracing and AI in over 50 applications, including Adobe Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, and Blender. And monthly Studio drivers bring new features, faster performance, and enhanced stability. Since the launch of Studio in 2019, there have been over 100 purpose-built Studio laptops and desktops from every major OEM. NVIDIA Ampere architecture takes Studio laptops to the next level. Rendering is up to 5 times faster than Pascal. Video editors can work with 8K raw footage, use AI to simplify workflows, and reduce encode times by up to 75%. Artists have up to 16 gigabytes of graphics memory to work with huge assets across multiple apps at the same time. RTX Accelerated AI will change the way creators work. For example, Adobe Photoshop recently introduced neural filters which uses AI to quickly make complex edits to photographs. Adobe Premiere Pro Auto Reframe uses AI to convert landscape video to portrait while keeping the action front and center. In DaVinci Resolve 17, the new Magic Mask feature uses AI to speed up mask creation and tracking. NVIDIA Optics AI denoising
Thank you,
in
James.
Blender
I
cleans
really
up
appreciate
noise on the
that.
fly, quickly resolving 3D images.
407.
And NVIDIA Omniverse Audio to Face uses AI to animate unrigged 3D characters based solely on an audio source.
A new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
We better be
Today,
careful.
we're introducing over 70 laptops from every OEM, our biggest launch ever. These are the world's fastest laptops that give gamers and creators a huge variety to pick the right device for their needs. Available beginning January 26, with prices starting at $999. Let's take a look at what they can do. RTX is the new standard, and the momentum continues to grow. With most of the installed base underpowered for the latest games, we're bringing RTX to every gamer with the GeForce RTX 3060. Finally, as more gamers are choosing laptops, we're launching a new generation of RTX laptops, ready to play the most demanding games. Thanks everyone for tuning in today, and as always, thanks to all of our fans for all their support. And before we go, we've got one more treat for you.
One more? Okay, let's see. He just deleted miners. Yeah, it's got to be DLSS. There's too many indicators of screen space features. Oh, wow. I guess none of that. Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. That appears to be the end. It's all over. It's all over, guys. It's all over. The end of the day. The day has ended. Honestly, Flight Sim like that can run at a lower frame rate. That was a lot of screens trying to run off of a laptop. Yeah, I'll tell you, I didn't think there'd be a 3050. I didn't think there'd be a 3050. However, there was considerably more that happened on this stream than it was on the last one. So, let's see. Let's go through the list. So we originally said mobile parts. Yes, they announced the 80, 70, and 60 series. 60 series claiming faster than the RTX 2080 Super Mobile, so starting at $1,000. Pretty big price drop there. We'll see how many stick closer to that $999 price tag. $999.99. Not really 1,000 or just under 1,000. But then the 70 series, I liked seeing them bump up to a 1440p. Guys, I told you I didn't expect there to be a Ti. I told you that I wasn't expecting a 3080 Ti. I've known for a really long time, like years, that it's Ti, but everybody still keeps saying Ti, including myself. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. Market their GPUs to OnlyFans streamers. Oh God. The mobile 80 variant was 16 gigs. I was interesting to not hear anything about the desktop variant. So I guess we'll have to get more information on the 80 series, exactly what it is as far as like which GPU core, because if it's using a TU104 with a 256-bit bus, that would make sense. So the 70 and 80 probably aren't going to be hugely different in performance other than the memory. 1440p screens on a laptop, super big deal. Resizable bar, it was on the list. It made it. We got to see that. Now, they didn't mention anything about the limitations of it, like which GPU, so there's going to be a lot more information to get for that one. 3060 was a little bit... I'm gonna be honest. The 3060, I think they've taken a lot of criticism and they've placed it and kind of put things in like the right spot. Like as far as you're looking at 12 gigs of VRAM, that 6 gig. There may not be a 6 gig model. There may be down the road, but right now it's just 12 gig. $329 is a fair price. I would have preferred $299. I think we all would have, but $329, 12 gigs. It doesn't appear that it's going to be much further behind the 3060 Ti in overall performance. I think there's going to have more VRAM capacity, but it's going to be a lower performant because you want 192-bit bus instead of a 256, a resizable BAR, so the resizable bar, base access registry, may enhance the wider bus of the 3060 Ti even more. Late February, so not too terribly long. I mean, it's middle of January, so a month and a half, 6 weeks, within the next 6 weeks. Game-wise, I made the comment through the live stream, Warzone, somebody mentioned it in the chat and they were right. Warzone only had ray trace shadows, and Modern Warfare, they only had ray trace shadows. So now they're getting DLSS 2.0. Five Nights at Freddy's, that'll be an interesting one if that's kind of your game. It looks like it's going to be a it's going to be an RTX showcase is what it looks like it's going to be. Fist is not a show on the hub, according to, as somebody may have pointed out. Outsiders, we got to mention that, but again, no mention of the Medium, which makes it very interesting, the fact that it's getting the features it is, and they did not even mention it. So that's kind of where we are. Wrap up the whole total stream. AMD, we got RDNA 2. Mobile, eventually, coming soon. Zen 3 mobile, those parts were announced, really high performant. And then all of the mobile Ampere parts, 3060, bunch of game stuff, bunch of features. We'll have more on each one of these things broke down into articles over on the website. I'll have that linked in the probably pinned comment down there. Maybe make a long list of all the various things. But I'm going to work on timestamps for this so that if you came back later to catch up on something, you can jump right to it and skip hopefully the boring parts and watch just what you want to. Guys, I really appreciate everybody that showed up for this. It's been an absolutely wonderful experience for me outside of being bored to tears from sometimes. But I really appreciate you hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoy the rest of the CES. Let us know in the comment section below what you were excited about, what you were most disappointed about. There's a lot of disappointment going around. I see that, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Again, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay subscribed, liked. I don't know. I'm going to hit the end stream button now. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have no idea. Yes, end.